One of the hottest whiskey today is this, the Jack Daniel's Heritage Toasted Barrel. Everyone wants one, but not a lot of people can find it. Now, a lot of people forget that same hype, everyone wants it, was with this, the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel when it first came out. So I'm gonna let you know two important things. First, what are the differences between these two toasted barrels? Because there is actually a lot and there is a big difference. And second, and most importantly, which one is the better bourbon? If I just judge by the nose, palate, and finish, which one is the better tasting whiskey? Well, we're gonna find out together right now.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Whiskey. My name is David. When the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel first released in September 2020, it was impossible to find. It was in the middle of COVID. It was in the middle of the bourbon boom. It was in the middle of everything. Everyone wanted one. Everyone grabbed it. It was like a myth. It was like a ghost. It just didn't exist. I think my first bottle, and I was trying to hunt it, I was trying to find it, came 3 years later in 2023. So this is actually a really, a special bottle for me in terms of just, it took so long to find. Well, this, luckily for me, it came out this year and I was able to grab it right away. So what are the differences between these two toasted barrels? There are three big differences, and the last being the biggest. First is going to be the price. The Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel comes in around $55 to $60 in my area, while the Jack Daniel's is about $65 to $70. The $10 to $15 bump, which is a huge price difference. But it also comes with a proof pump. So the Elijah Craig is 94 proof, while the Jack Daniel's comes in at 100 proof, which is a really nice proof bump. But the biggest difference, or the main difference, is gonna be that the Elijah Craig is a finished bourbon. So basically they take their small batch bourbon, the red label, and finish it in 18-month air-dried, highly toasted, low char or flash charred barrels for an undisclosed amount of time. While the Jack Daniel's is not finished. It's not number 7 finished in highly toasted barrels. It is actually Jack Daniel's White Dog, purely aged in high toast, low char or flash charred barrels the entire time for at least 7 years. Now, these are single barrels, so the age can vary, while mine is just over 8 years old. So that's actually really cool. So this is all aged in toasted barrels, while this is finished in toasted barrels. But let's be honest, none of that matters if it doesn't taste good. So no more talking, let's get drinking. It's opening ceremonies. Ooh. I'm gonna let these open up for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So these have been opening for 10 minutes, and let's get started. I'm kind of really excited for this. So first, I'm gonna start with the Elijah Craig Toasted, because I wanna remember why this was so popular back in 2020. Wow, that was 5 years ago. Seems like it was yesterday. Well, first, the nose. Wow, nose is like a lot of either toasted barrel finish or double oak bourbons, right? Sweet, marshmallow, maple syrup, just oozy, goozy, easy, sweet nose, right? So nose is nice, but like I always say, palate is what matters. So cheers, guys. Ooh. Wow, I could see why this was so popular back in 2020. If you couldn't get those awesome barrel-proof bourbons, this was probably the next best thing, right? Because back then in 2020, Stag, even Elijah Craig barrel-proof or Booker's was impossible to find. So you want to try to get an oaky, like a sweet bourbon? Well, this is probably the next best thing. I mean, for a 94 proofer, it packs a punch of spice that I don't get from, let's say, the Elijah Craig small batch. And you get that sweetness, right? The marshmallows, the brown sugars, everything right in the mid palate. And then the finish, you get that toasted spice, almost like a French oak finish. And it's really nice, really good. And you know what? It's really fun. You know, this is actually a lot better than I remember, because I haven't had this in a hot minute. So, you know what? Elijah Craig Toasted, pretty good. Now let's move on to what everyone came here for, the Jack Daniel's Heritage Toasted Barrel. Actually, you know what? I really wanted to try this too. So here you go, the nose. You know, the nose is literally just Jack Daniels. That banana sweet cream. I'll be honest with you, I probably couldn't tell the difference between, on the nose at least, this or the barrel proof bourbon or the bonded or anything like that. They all smell very delicious. But of course, nose, very good. The palate, let's find out. Cheers, guys. Wow. So one of the things that Jack Daniel's Heritage does is that they have a very low barrel entry proof. So when it goes into that highly toasted barrel, it goes into it at 100 proof. Other Jack Daniels goes in at 125. But since it goes in at 100, it's supposed to extract a lot more of the sugars or the sweetness from that highly toasted low charred barrel. And you know what? I think this succeeded. It is extremely sweet. It's a lot sweeter than your, let's say, the normal Jack Daniel's bonded, especially at 100 proof. Now, this is great. I really like this, but is it that much different than, let's say, a Jack Daniel's bonded or even a Jack Daniel's barrel proof single barrel? Not really. I mean, it's a little bit more crushable than the barrel proofs, right? Because of the lower proof. I think the low barrel entry proof really makes it slightly sweeter, a little bit more crushable, and just easy mouthfeel in terms of just going down and just making it feel great. And it's a little bit better than the bonded because the bonded does have that little bit of the harshness, a little bit more of that punchness, and this doesn't have that. But I don't know if it's markedly better, and definitely it's not markedly different. I mean, obviously I enjoy it. I enjoy Jack Daniel's, everything but the number 7, but is it that different? I don't know. Oh, you know what? It's good, but I don't know. This might be a marketing ploy. So now I'm gonna go back and forth, and let you know exactly which one is the better whiskey. I wanna take a quick second to thank you guys for watching this video because I know your time is precious and I absolutely appreciate it. Of course, to my Patreon YouTube members, you guys are the best. All right, I'm back. And that was a fun ride. Actually, the Elijah Craig Toasted did a lot better than I thought. I thought this would be a no contest. Jack Daniel's, hands down the winner, but actually I had to finish both of these, kind of. And it took me a little bit of time to decide which one is the better whiskey. So, after taking some time, after going back and forth, after sacrificing my liver just for you guys, which is the better whiskey? It's gonna be the Jack Daniel's Toasted, but not by much. And the most important thing here is the fact that if you like Jack Daniel's, you're gonna like the Toasted better than the Elijah Craig Toasted. But if you like unique, if you want something different, you want something that you never had from a brand, the Elijah Craig Toasted is actually a really good bourbon. This is what you want if you want something that's not Elijah Craig, right? This tastes nothing like the small batch. This tastes nothing like I've ever had from any of the Elijah Craig single barrels. That marshmallow, the sweetness, it just adds on to a slightly little bit more creamy, peanutty Elijah Craig flavor. While this, it's just a really nicely, little bit sweeter, a little bit smoother, maybe even a little bit creamier Jack Daniel's bonded. But it's not markedly different. It's not markedly unique. I'll be honest, if I had this blind, I don't know if I could tell that it's toasted at all. And so, is it good? Yes. Is it better in terms of just would I drink this more than this? Yes. But would I go hunting for this? Would I be up in arms and say, oh my God, this Jack Daniel's is so much more unique? No, it's not. And that's, I don't want to say disappointing, but that's a little, how do I say this? Just not what I was expecting. There you go. Elijah Craig, more unique. Jack Daniel's Toasted, a little bit better. Well, leave in the comments, if you had both of these, which one do you prefer? And if you remember back in 2020 when you first got this, was it worth the hype? Do you remember it being so good? Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.